Hey everyone, so I just want to fill you guys in because I've mentioned on Tumblr in here once in a while, I think more on the 7 Awesome Nerds channel, but I said I was going to meet Chris Colfer, but I found out that I couldn't. The reason why I couldn't is I live in Wisconsin and the closest signing was Skokie, Illinois or Chicago or the other one. There was like 3 in Illinois. But that one was 2 hours away. And I thought, okay, that's fine. Me and my mom, we even drove out there to see where the path was and where the mall was and such. And I was like, okay. I was intended to go with my friend, the person I went with on a road trip with, and I just didn't want to go with her anymore. I think I got too sick of her face, or we got too sick of each other, and I know she doesn't really watch Glee, so then I thought, oh, my sister, so she was possibly gonna go with me, but I found out that they sold the tickets at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then I found out like days later that the signing wasn't even till 7 p.m. As a person who doesn't live in that area, it was very very inconvenient for me. I would have had to leave the house at 4 in the morning and probably get in line by 6, and then when I got my ticket I would eventually had to wait in line for God knows like 10 hours. Nah, maybe not that, right? No, maybe a little less than that, I don't know, but it was a long time because I've heard people who got their ticket and then automatically went to the line and waited there because they didn't want to, press their luck. The signing was only going to be like a couple hours, so, if you didn't have your chance, you're kind of screwed because the store was going to close. I was very, very excited to go, meet the person who changed my life. I was going to tell him a couple things and tell him how much I liked the book, and, but then my sister couldn't go because she had to work, so she couldn't be with me all day, and then I wouldn't get home till like midnight, and it's a place I've never known. I feel like I didn't try hard enough, but in the end, it's just, I didn't want to wait 12 hours or even more than that in line by myself, somewhere where, someone couldn't hold my place if I had to leave for a second, to go to the bathroom or something, There's so many little excuses, but in the end, I don't know. If I was with somebody, it would be a totally different ball game because I would have gone in a heartbeat, even if it was my sister. I feel like there will be other chances. I'm very fortunate that I do live in the United States where he would go to more places, and hopefully I will have someone to go with next book signing or whatever he's going to be doing. It sucks. If it was more closer as well, I wouldn't have minded either. If it was, because we have a Barnes & Noble, not too far away from here, maybe like 30-45 minutes, so, and I know how to get to and from there from the mall, and so, that would have been perfect, but of course not. Too small of a town. Not close enough to Chicago. I feel like if you don't live in Chicago, New York, or Los Angeles, I should say, you're like fucked. He didn't go anywhere to the south, which sucks because I mean, like, that was where all those states. He only went to Illinois, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and California. So I mean, a lot of people didn't get to go, and I feel like I wanted someone who deserved the spot to take it, where I just instead I couldn't go even if I got the ticket. So yeah, but I did finish The Land of Stories. I have it here. And Chelsea, your book, you see that bag like right by that can? That's where your book is. There it is. So yeah, I read The Land of Stories. I bought it on the actual day it came out. I went to Barnes & Noble because I thought I was gonna, go, so I had to buy their book from from Barnes & Noble so I can get the ticket, which ended up not being that useful, but I went there and it was already in the bestseller section, which is awesome. I went home. I didn't read it because I'm not a big book reader and I wasn't like excited to jump into a book, but I wanted to read it because it was Chris. I feel like a lot of, and this will be maybe some Land of Stories spoilers, I'm not sure. If you haven't read it, then you can just click out by now, but I'm already done explaining, so The Land of Stories, I really thought that especially Connor, even Alex, the twins, had definitely reminded me of Chris, and at certain points, I forgot that Chris wrote this book, and I just thought it was just a regular book I was reading, and then I remembered, oh, Chris wrote, these are actual words that Chris was typing throughout this whole time, and even as a kid, and imagining these things, and it's just a wonderful, amazing thing. Like, holy crap, Chris Colfer is a published author, and these are his words from his childhood and his current life right now. And it's just like a personal thing that we're finally getting to be able to see, and I just was freaking out. And I really like fairy tales. I'm a big fan of Once Upon a Time, the show. I do like Disney movies. I always am watching them. I love Disney princesses. I freaked out at Disney World. I fangirled over those little things. I was like, oh, I gotta see the Disney princesses. I don't think oh wait, I did see them, but I didn't like talk to them or anything. But The Land of Stories is basically twins, a brother and sister. They have this book that their grandma gave to them. That was a story that her and their dad, her son, always talked to them about stories, and, they loved books, and they loved imagination and fairy tales, and their dad passed away, and so, their mother and them were grieving and, adjusting to this new life where without their dad, and that their grandma gives them this book that they grew up around and eventually started glowing, and they accidentally fall into the book, and it's like this a whole nother universe, other realm and world, and they don't know how to get back until they meet this frog man who is cursed upon the evil queen, where they have to find the wishing spell, which is just a collection of a bunch of rare things from each kingdom, which there's a couple kingdoms. I don't remember all of them. I think there was the North Kingdom, the Corner Kingdom, Sleeping Kingdom, Snow White Kingdom. I don't remember if that's what it's called, or Charming Kingdom, Red Riding Hood's Kingdom, Rapunzel. I feel really bad that I don't remember all of them. Yeah. Oh, and there was like the dwarfs and the trolls and the goblins. They had their own ones too. But they had to find all these places from all these things, and but also the evil queen, it was, she wanted the wishing spell as well, and only one more person can do the wishing spell because it's already been used by someone else. And so they were, they didn't know it at first, but the queen was also hiring the huntsman's daughter to find all these things as well as them, and they come across, all these things from the books that they read, and the fairies and the princesses and all their kingdoms and all the charmings, and not Rapunzel, Goldilocks is on the run, and there's Jack and the Bean. It's just like crazy how many of these things that are from fairy tales are in this book. Like everything, you name it, it's in the book. Even Little Mermaid is mentioned, which is crazy because she's not one of the classic ones. And the one thing I was surprised to not see was Beauty and the Beast, because or even Rumpelstiltskin, because in Once Upon a Time both of them were in there. So, but Beauty and the Beast is more of a more modern princess compared to Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, and that kind of stuff. So, whatevs. But I kept picturing Red Riding Hood as the red Ruby in Once Upon a Time, even though she's blonde in the book. But that's how I saw it, as well as the other princesses, except for maybe Snow White. I kind of picture her as Snow White in the actual movie, not Snow White from Once Upon a Time. But the book was really, really good. I even cried at the end. I won't spoil the end because I feel like that's the big hook, and there's so many different twists, and you're like, oh my gosh, that could be the person. Oh my gosh, like subtle hints of what's gonna happen at the end. It all just comes together, and it kind of leaves you at the end that there's gonna be a sequel, and he's mentioned that there is going to be one, and I'm really excited. And I think, spoiler alert, they're going to be 14 instead of 12. They're 12. They turn 12 in the book. So I really liked it. I could definitely see Chris's personality in there, and I think that's great. I'm proud of him. So my ending review on The Land of Stories, I really liked it. A person who really likes fairy tales, I really liked it. Usually expect a love story within it, but it wasn't. It was just a children's thing. And near the mid-end, I was thinking, wow, I would really read this to my kids, because the person who changed my life wrote this. It's also a fairy tale. It's very kid-friendly, but yet it's a little more realistic as well. It has very realistic aspects to it. Definitely not just for little kids. So if you went to any of the signings, you're very lucky. I am very happy for you that you got to meet Chris. One of my things on my bucket list is to meet Chris. And I really thought this was my chance because it was so close yet so far. And I was so disappointed. I was like just so mad at myself that I didn't try hard enough or thought of a better plan or just wing it and did it anyways. It's just I am not the type of person to do that. So I hope one day that when Chris writes his next book or something else along those lines where he comes around this area, or if I just really have the chance, then I'm gonna jump to what I can. I really have to go to Comic-Con next year. That's my biggest goal, is probably doing that. Maybe he'll be at the Glee panel next year, if there even is season 5 or whatever. So we'll see how that goes. I just would have loved to be able to tell Chris how much I liked Connor and his wit and his hilarious, and just hilarious, his lines and stuff. Especially when he went to the woman with like Hansel and Gretel, the candy lady's house or whatever, that tried to eat him. It was hilarious. So, have you read The Land of Stories? What are your thoughts on them? I thought it was wonderful. No negative reviews, or you're be gone. Be gone, beast. So, I will see you guys soon. I hopefully will do more videos often. That made sense, right? I'm going to be getting a new tattoo this week, so I will be posting a video talking about it because I always do that. I like to do that. And yeah, follow my Tumblr, colfsex.tumblr.com, and I will talk to you guys later. Magical.